What exactly does it mean to be human? That is the question that 28 years later explores through a grim lens. The movie shows us a world where survival has overshadowed compassion and where society has regressed to a more tribalistic and militaristic state of being. However, in this post-apocalyptic filled with infected monstrosities and hardened survivors, one character stands apart, Dr. Kelson.
Excuse my appearance. I paint myself in iodine. It's an excellent prophylactic.
A former general practitioner now living in exile, Kelson represents the last vestiges of moral humanity in a world that has largely abandoned it. Through his unwavering respect for the dead, his refusal to dehumanize the infected, and his philosophical commitment to memory and love, Dr. Kelson somehow became this movie's emotional and ethical center, and he is, in my eyes, the most human character in the entire movie. From when he is first mentioned, Kelson is misunderstood. The community where Spike is from regard him as someone who is unstable, even dangerous. Spike's father, Jamie, recalls having once seen Kelson burning corpses in what appeared to be a ritualistic manner. In truth, Kelson's cremations are not acts of madness but of compassion. In a world that treats the dead as inconvenient reminders of failure and vulnerability, Kelson treats them with reverence. He retrieves bodies, cremates them with dignity, and constructs a monument from their bones, his symbolic memento mori, a Latin phrase meaning, "remember you must die." Rather than forget the dead or dispose of them as a biological threat, Kelson insists on remembering them. He gives them names, form, and meaning. This practice sets him apart from both the infected and the surviving communities, who have each, in different ways, chosen to forget.
He's not a doctor, Spike, but he's long since gone insane. Stood by it was Kelson. Unfathomable purpose, he dragged all the bodies there.
The most human aspect of Kelson's character, however, is his approach to the infected. Throughout this movie, the infected are generally treated as monsters. Fast, rabid, and violent, they are rarely seen as anything other than a threat to be exterminated. But Kelson refuses to accept that as fact. He views them not as demons or beasts, but as people suffering from a terrible disease, victims rather than villains. This is most clearly shown in his relationship with the Alpha, a more evolved and intelligent infected creature, whom he even names Samson.
I call this one Samson. He's lived in the area a good 3 years now. Did he keep my distance from him, of course?
The act of naming is no small gesture as it humanizes the creature. It asserts that, despite the virus, some remnant of who this once was remains. More importantly than that is the fact that Kelson, for over 3 years, does not attempt to kill Samson. Instead, he only seems to sedate him with a blowgun using a morphine xylazine cocktail, essentially treating him as one would a sick patient or an animal in pain, not an enemy to be eliminated. He does not deny the danger posed by the infected, but he chooses to respond to it with compassion rather than cruelty.
Morphine, xylazine. It's extremely fast acting.
This contrasts dramatically with the mindset that Spike has grown up under, where the infected are dehumanized to the point of being used in coming-of-age rituals. Spike, who is just a young child during this movie, is expected to cross over to the British mainland and perform his first kill as a rite of passage. This is portrayed as something honorable and even festive. The community even throws a celebration when Spike succeeds, cheering what is essentially the ritualized murder of a sick individual. Though they may be infected and dangerous, these beings were once human, and their current condition is not the result of any moral failing. But the village cannot afford to see them as human. Doing so would compromise their psychological stability and ability to survive. This regression to a medieval, even primitive worldview is shown as tragic, but perhaps necessary.
Good luck, Spike.
You're doing well, lad.
Go get your first kill.
No, I kept missing
No,
him.
you didn't. He's humble.
Dr. Kelson, however, rejects this necessity. He operates on a deeper level of morality. Kelson's guiding philosophies, Memento Mori and Memento Amoris, frame his worldview. While Memento Mori reminds people of death and the need to live meaningfully, Memento Amoris, remember you must love, extends this message into something more emotional and relatable. This philosophy is shown when Kelson consoles the boy Spike, who is devastated by the discovery that his mother, Isla, is dying of terminal cancer. Unlike Jamie, who avoids discussing Isla's illness and isolates himself emotionally, Kelson engages with Spike, guiding him through the grieving process. He helps arrange Isla's euthanasia, respecting her autonomy and desire to die on her own terms. In an act of both comfort and legacy, he gives her skull to Spike to place atop the bone monument, a powerful gesture that transforms loss into memory, sorrow into meaning.
Okay. See, but from what I can observe, I think you have cancer.
Love you, Mum.
Memento Amoris. Remember, you must love.
Kelson's influence on Spike is very important, as it shows the impact of human compassion. After his mother's death, Spike is offered a kind of rebirth. He returns to his community with an uninfected baby, whom he named after his mother. Yet he does not stay. Instead, he leaves the child at the village gates and returns to the mainland alone, seeking something more. His note to his father suggests not only a deep maturity but a new way of seeing the world, one shaped by Kelson's example. He says that he will return when he is ready. After the death of his mother, he needs time to find the answers he is looking for, and he will not return to his home until he finds them.
Please be kind to her. Her name is Isla.
This, of course, leads us to the ending of the movie, which shows an adult at the head of a cult that wears tracksuits and mimics the infamous British predator Jimmy Savile, which is both surreal and horrifying. It shows how apocalyptic environments can distort human identity and morality.
You're a fine young warrior like yourself. Would you mind if we stepped in? It would be our pleasure.
There is no compassion with them.
Infected and non-infected alike. Because they are alike.
In contrast, Kelson's presence throughout the film serves as a counterpoint to this descent into madness. Where the cult represents the grotesque exaggeration of dehumanization and blind reverence, Kelson embodies thoughtful remembrance and ethical action.
Do you know the words Memento Mori? It means remember death. This is a monument to them. A temple.
In a world stripped of order, decency, and civilization, Dr. Kelson stands as a testament to what humanity can still be. He is not a warrior or a hero in the traditional sense. He does not save the day with weapons or charisma. Instead, he quietly preserves what makes life meaningful: memory, compassion, and the dignity of all people, living or dead. Through him, we can believe that it is possible to choose empathy over violence and love over fear. In doing so, this movie reminds us that the most human choice is not just to survive, but to care.